What's going on, everybody? We're going to get ready to get started, and we're going to do something a little bit different. I had to have a little bit of an issue, and so I'm trying to kind of work um, a little bit differently of a way with this. I'm actually doing it off of my phone and off of my computer at the same time to make sure that everybody, um, can join the show. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to get started in just a bit. As you can see, the truth is back. We are back. We are in the house, and it's full speed ahead. Now it's time for the season. Training camp is here. We are back in it, and y'all got me for about the next 5.5 months. So I hope y'all got your rest because now it's game time. So we're gonna get ready to get into it, and we're gonna get ready to get this show started. Make sure y'all share this show out, and we're gonna get this show started in less than 60 seconds.
Call me a god. Call me a god. Call me a god. Call me a god. Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing.
Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody?
What's going on, Titan Nation? How's everybody doing? Welcome into the show. I am your host, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer. Doing something a little bit differently. Now I'm actually doing this off of my phone and off of my computer. I had a little bit of an issue trying to log in, and so we're kind of having to go. We're kind of having to go back to the kind of go another way around, and I'm definitely trying to do it that way. That way we can keep this thing going and keep this thing happening. I'm trying to see if I can, definitely work and make sure I can, log in and do everything I need to do. So, we're back. It is the first stream of the year. So, of course, I was going to have an issue or two, but it's okay. We're going to work that out and we're going to be fine as the season keeps going. So, welcome everybody into the show. I'm your man, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer. Welcome into TNT tonight. And Truth is back. We are back. We are full speed ahead. The season is alive and kicking, and we are gonna have a good time. Make sure y'all let me know that y'all can hear me good. Make sure y'all share this show out, whether it's on Facebook, Twitter, X, or Instagram. Make sure y'all can hear me. Hopefully, I don't hear me talking twice. If you do, I'll try to fix that. And we're gonna keep everything going. I see we got our old Titans hater back in the house. Ken Woods, what's going on? So I definitely knew he was gonna be around. We got Clay. We got Ghostly. He's saying fans from different. I know he said fans from different. A bunch of different fans are joining the stream. I'm like, hey, that's what's up. We got Titan Rossi. We got Bryce on the show. So Titan talking to Kit like, how you gonna switch to the Bengals of all teams? Yeah, he did that a couple of years ago. So that one, ain't changed. So the Mrs. Sunshine Lavender. Thank you for tuning in. But everybody, today is a very exciting day. and everything. And we're gonna get into that in just a minute. Again, make sure y'all subscribe to the show. Make sure you hit that like button. Show that you like the show. Help me out. Help the channel out. Because some things are coming up around the bend that I'm going to be testing out, that I'm going to be trying. And definitely trying to make sure I have time for that. Also, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel, this is your first time watching, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And hit the word hit all under your notifications, under the bell. Ring that bell so that way you will be able to know when I go live, because I'm gonna be doing some other stuff too, stuff around the NFL. I'm gonna be doing some stuff around maybe with college football, because I know the new college football 25 has come out. I'm mad I haven't played that yet, because I gotta have a PS5 or an Xbox to do it, and so I don't like that. But also make sure y'all check out Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, or Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast from. And definitely make sure you join there. Make sure you give me a rating. Give me the a rating or anything like that. And definitely make sure you tune in there as well if you can. But of course, going in, training camp has begun. We are here. It's time. Y'all got me for the next 5.5 months now. We're going full speed ahead into the season. The Titans take the field today, and we're going to get into that a little bit more. But before we do that, one last signing the Titans did make before training camp was that the Titans signed safety Jamal Adams. And I got to tell you, I kind of like this pick. Now, it was a 1-year deal. I think it was a good signing. Definitely got the leadership capabilities, the leadership qualities, and things like that. The only thing I kind of wished had happened, I kind of wish they had signed Jamal. I wish they had drafted Jamal Adams back in 2017. Because that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted Jamal Adams in 2017. It was either him or Mike Williams. That's who I wanted to draft. That's who I thought the Titans should draft at that time. And either one, I would have been very, very happy. But we got him now. A 1-year deal, 1-year prove-it deal. He gets to reunite with defensive coordinator Denard Wilson. Has a lot of familiarity with him. And I think it'll be a very good fit as far as bringing the aggressive physicality, because they're going to be resilient and relentless. That's what they want to be. And now the injury part is indeed a concern. It's very much a concern, is the injuries. And that's something that I am definitely worried about when it comes to him. But all in all, again, I think this is a very, very, very solid signing. I see Ty Rossi and Kent Woods are going at it. But yeah, that was the only signing so far, at least late in the year. Of course, they traded for L'Jarius Sneed, signed Calvin Ridley, signed Lloyd Cushenberry to play center. They signed Tony Pollard as well. Signed Kenneth Murray, the linebacker from the Chargers. Also drafted Tavondre Sweat, drafted J.C. Latham. Yes, y'all signed Simmons. Not yet, but Jamal Adams did speak today. He spoke today in regards to being signed by the Titans. And he mentioned that he's been in conversation with another safety that is available, and that's Quadri Diggs. That's who he's been in communication with. And, they're hoping that, he's hoping that to reunite. He's hoping that they'll, definitely come together and be able to reunite and be teammates again. So that's something that Jamal definitely expressed wanting to have happen. But, he's definitely trying to bring that leadership, trying to be physical. And he's like, hey, I'm coming in here to work hard. I'm coming in here to work hard and be a part of this team. And I like it. I like what he had to say. And so, again, training camp is kicked off. And we're in full swing now. And so yesterday, head coach Brian Callahan spoke. GM Rand Carthon spoke. Assistant general manager um, Anthony Robinson spoke as well. And so they basically, gave their thoughts as training camp began. One thing that Callie mentioned was that, Will Levis seemed to be locked in, again, want to be resilient and relentless, definitely trying to make sure that they, get the install in as far as installing their system, things that, that they want to do. They're going to try to, maybe not do anything vertical, maybe start with the short routes and kind of work their way out and try to work towards Will Levis's strengths and everything. So that's really what they're trying to do in regards to that. Rand definitely gave compliments to Will Levis about, him taking command, taking leadership. The only thing he said was, with the Cabo trip, the drawback was he didn't get an invite to Cabo. He was like, I wish I got an invite to Cabo. But Rand was very much impressed with Will Levis and everything. And make sure y'all let me know if y'all hear anything in the background besides me. I'm trying to work through this because I couldn't actually log in. I'm actually working with someone else on StreamYard. So there may be a little bit of a difficulty. If not, of course, I'll be on my phone. So either way, we're going to get this show through and we're going to do this thing good. But I definitely did like that. He also mentioned, Callie also mentioned Tavondre Sweat was good to go. He's good to go. He did practice today. Definitely looked, he was mobile. He was moving. Don't know what his weight was, but he was out there practicing. He was out there battling. So I definitely do like that. All Titans players showed up. I believe the only ones that were put on like a PUP was Colton Dowell. Of course, he's recovering from an ACL. And also Nicholas Petit-Ferrer. He dealt with a shoulder injury that ended his season last year, but that was not the reason that he's on the PUP, at least right now. So he's trying to work through that. But other than that, everybody else is good to go, including Ryan Stonehouse. Stonehouse has no designation. He's not PUP or anything. He was out there punting today. So, I mean, that is terrific recovery by Ryan Stonehouse, our Stone Leg, coming together. So I definitely do like that. And so I see DO9 said, truth, we back. Yes, we are. We are back. We are back and in full swing. It is full speed ahead. And we ain't stopping. And so I definitely did enjoy that as well. But as we keep going, this is a very important camp. It's a very important camp. It's a very big camp. And with it being the first year, Will Levis spoke with the media. He seemed very poised. He seemed very crisp in how he was talking. He wanted to make sure. Let's see, I am echoing. Okay, well, I know what I'm going to have to do then. I'm going to definitely make that change in just a moment. So y'all give me just a quick second because I definitely don't want to echo. Okay, y'all. I had to make sure y'all got me here. So actually, I can take this off. So we're gonna keep going with the show. We're gonna keep going as planned, and we're gonna keep this thing popping. So yeah, I didn't want the echoes to happen. So definitely do apologize about that. Definitely gonna make sure everything is okay with everything, but we're gonna keep this thing going. But yes, definitely very excited with that. Will Levis seemed very poised. He talked about working on his footwork. He definitely talked about working on his footwork and definitely trying to make better decisions and definitely trying to make sure he's more consistent. Also talked about how last year, he came in, with the limited reps, really didn't know what to expect. And, coming in, didn't really know he was going to be playing until the middle of the season. But now he's a little bit, wasn't, he was definitely not that comfortable last year because he was like, we knew he was going to play. But now he's coming in, he knows he's the guy. He's the starting quarterback from the word go. And so now, he could definitely do that. Ghostly says, not a Titans fan, as you already know, but I could definitely see them doing well this season. Well, Golden, like I said, I appreciate you coming on in and joining the community. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you go ahead, hit like, and spread the word to some of the other fans too. Because I mean, hey, this is NFL friendly. Just because if you're not a Titans fan, it doesn't mean you can't join in on this. Yes, this is a Titan-centric channel, but I am going to be doing some more stuff coming up on the rest of the NFL because other teams have reported to camp as well. I'm slowly going to be integrating that in, and I'm also going to be doing some stuff on sports in the state of Tennessee because the Memphis Tigers, they're going to be coming up. They got a pretty big year coming up. The Vols are trying to, make some headway in this new SEC with Texas and Oklahoma joining the SEC as well. The Grizzlies were just in the Summer League Finals and nearly won a very exciting thriller in overtime against the Miami Heat out in Vegas. So they were very impressed. So we got those coming up around the bend. So definitely be on the lookout for that as well. So we're going to definitely keep this thing going. But yes, training camp has started. I definitely do like the fact that Will Levis is taking command. Big Jeff spoke as well. He basically said, I want to be the best defensive tackle in the league. He definitely talked about that, kind of, he had some stuff to say about the media during the summer as well and things like that. And, I spoke the last time we were on, I talked about the national disrespect for the Titans. Now, one person I did not mention who gives a lot of respect to the Tennessee Titans is one Rich Eisen, who I want to say last week did a show. He said he had a clip where he gave his top 5 teams that can go from worst to first in their division. And one of the teams he did mention out of the 8 was the Tennessee Titans. I believe you were number 5. He said, yeah, we know that that's Houston's division right now to lose, and Jacksonville is right there. But the Titans could sneak up from behind and get them. And I believe that. I think the Titans could definitely sneak up out of nowhere and just get and win this division. So it can happen. I definitely do think the Titans are a lot better than a lot of the nation is giving them credit for. A lot of people are thinking that they're only going to win 5 games, maybe 6 games or 7. I think they could do more than that. I think they could win 10 games. I really do. I think they could definitely win 10 games, and I am excited to see where this goes. Some observations. I saw a few clips of some things going on. Calvin Ridley continues to look good. He looks good. He looks like a number 1 receiver. Him and Diop are 1A, 1B. That's basically what that is. Traylon Burks, looks like he's in great shape. Rand Carthon talked about that, saying that, he felt like he's really grown up. He's really grown up in the last couple of years. And also, it's basically shown basically showing that, he could have a nice breakout year and things like that. So hopefully that is something that can happen because I was listening to um Buck Rising. He had his A to Z prime time last night. I was listening to it this early this morning on my way to work. And one of the questions that he asked was, what would be more interesting? D Hop, potential contract extension with D Hop, or Traylon Burks breaks out to where you can move on from D Hop? And that's a very, very good question. And that's going to be a very, very important development that's going to happen as the season goes on. We know what D Hop is. D Hop, I believe, is 32 now, in the final year of his contract. Obviously, I think the Titans should definitely re-sign D Hop. I would at least re-sign him to another 2-year deal. Maybe you could get out after one. And let him finish his career as a Titan. I know he's expressed he wants to finish his career in Tennessee, and you keep this thing going with Hopkins and Calvin Ridley. Now, on the other side, if Traylon Burks does break out a little bit, and let's just say if D-Hop or Ridley goes down and he steps up and he really takes off, then I could see it where D-Hop, where they say, you know what, D-Hop, we want to keep you, but we got to go with the kid. We got to go with the kid, because he's cheaper, and, he's basically a younger version. He could become a younger version of you. And so I could definitely see that happening. However, if I'm going to pick which one I think is more interesting or more realistic, I'm going to go with D-Hop re-signing. I think D-Hop will re-sign, and I think he'll finish his career here. I think the way that he's showing it, he looked like he got another couple of years left in him. The year before, he did not have 1,000 yards. He had like 900 yards in like 9 games. And he had over 1,000 yards, 75 catches, over 1,000 yards. And that was in a run-centric offense. What do you think his numbers are going to be now that we're more pass-happy? We could see, I think, number one, there was a bold prediction I saw on Titans Wire. And I think this is going to happen. Both Ridley and D-Hop are going to get 1,000 yards. I think they're easily going to get 1,000 yards. I could see one of them hitting 100 receptions. I think one of them could get close to 100 receptions. I think they're both going to get at least around 80. I think they're both going to get at least 80 to 90 catches. And that's the floor. But I think one of them could get close to 100. And that's where I say I think there's an issue with Burks, because there may not be enough balls to go around. I appreciate Ghosty saying, hey, already done, already subscribed. I definitely do appreciate that. Dion said we definitely have the talent, but Levis has to show it on the field. That much is true. Pass rush is suspect too. And that's something else that Rand Carthon mentioned was, we got to, get better with the pass rush, but we got the guys that can cover that can help the pass rush as well. So back to the receiver part, again, there may not be enough balls to go around, and that's going to be an issue. There's probably not going to be enough balls to go around. D-Hop's going to catch a lot of balls. Ridley's going to catch a lot of balls. Tyler Boyd's going to catch a few balls. Tony Pollard's going to catch a few out of the backfield. Tajay's going to catch a few. Chig's going to catch a few. Josh Wiley, Nick Van Nett. There may not be enough balls to go around, and Traylon Burks could be the odd man out. So that's something that we're going to see, that we're going to find out as time goes on. But I do think, the more realistically, I think D-Hop resigns. That's what I think. I think D-Hop resigns. And I think that's the more interesting and more realistic outcome in this situation. So again, make sure y'all share this show out. Again, make sure y'all hit that like button if you haven't already. And again, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and like Ghostly. And he already subbed. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring that bell as well. But next thing I want to talk about is interesting camp battles. And I'm also going to mention the top 5 players that I think need to have a really good training camp to make this football team and everything. And there are going to be some guys I didn't list because I'm thinking, hey, it's inevitable, that this person may not make the team or they may already make it. So that's something that we're definitely going to talk about. But the first thing is, and also I want y'all to be reminded, ESPN Analytics a good while back, the last time we were on, only give the Titans a 5% chance to win the division. They're all in on the Texans. So I want y'all to remember this when we win the division. Let's remember this, and we got receipts. So that's that on that. But here are my top 5. Let's go with top 5 players I need to have a very good training camp in order to make this roster. Top 5. And it's really in no particular order. It's just the way that I listed them. And so we're going to go ahead and get right into it. As y'all can see on the screen that way, there's my list. Number 1, obviously, is Will Levis. And that goes without saying. Will Levis has to prove he's the guy. Excuse me. And if Will Levis can prove he's the guy, has learned the system, and really has command and has good rapport with his receivers, that's going to go a very, very long way. Because again, I've said this before, it was a good thing Mike Vrabel got fired when he did, and Brian Callahan is here. Because yes, Will Levis is a 2nd-round pick, so he only has 4 years. And this is going into year 2. So technically, Brian Callahan has 2 years to see if Will Levis can be the guy before they have to really decide, hey, do we want to pay him big, or do we need to draft another quarterback? Or do we need to draft and go get another quarterback? So you get 2 years with him. If Ray Bum was still here, you would have only got, you would have had this year with Vrabel. He would have gotten fired, and you would have wasted this season. And of course, some of the guys that we signed, I don't think we would have signed Calvin Ridley if Vrabel was here, and some other guys either. I don't think L'Jarius Sneed would have been traded or anything like that if he was here. So, but you would have wasted Levis's 2nd year, and then you would have had to get a new coach, and then all the pressure would have been on year 3. He would have had to learn a new system, get acclimated, and have a good year. So he would have only had 1 year to decide. So this is a good thing that Levis has the time, but clock is ticking. He's got to show right away because, people are talking about, hey, you may have to start looking at drafting a quarterback next year if that's the case. So that's something that we're going to have to definitely see. Will Levis, it looks like he's heading in the right direction. Was the very first player to show up yesterday when the players reported, like his car was sitting out there by itself, first one there. And that's the sign of a leader. And he's been doing that. He's been gathering with the guys at Vanderbilt. He gathered the guys at Cabo. And so that's a very good thing. The next guy is Treylon Burks, as we've mentioned. Treylon Burks, it's all or nothing for him. This is his last chance. Stevie, what's up, man? Welcome in. Good to see you, man. Treylon Burks, this is do or die for him. This is his last chance because Rand Carthon did not draft him. Rand did not draft him. Brian Callahan was not in the process with him either. And so he's got to show he can stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, That would be a great thing. That would be a great thing if he could stay healthy and show that he can last. If he can show that he can last, then you might have something. You might be able to say, you know what? Maybe we can stick with Traylon Burks for a while. I think he has what it takes. And so that's gonna be the main thing is, can he stay healthy? If he can stay healthy, he can help this football team. If he doesn't, we're gonna have a problem. So, that's the thing that we're gonna have to, definitely make sure of, is that he can stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, he can do good. Because I mean, excuse me, we take a look at Calvin Ridley and D Hop. Both of those guys last year, D Hop dealt with an injury. How many games did he play last year? 17. Calvin Ridley coming back from being suspended. How many games did he play last year? 17. Traylon Burks didn't play all 17. Hasn't played all 17 yet. So that's going to be the question. That's going to be wondering, can he stay healthy? If he could do that and at least help in some capacity, could be some good. T'Vondre Sweat is another, because there's been a lot of scrutiny put on him as far as where he was drafted. A lot of people thought, that the Titans reached at 38, but, there were talks around. I think Rand mentioned, like, if we didn't draft T'Vondre Sweat at where we drafted him, we wouldn't have been able to draft him at all, because somebody else was going to pick him up. Because I believe Brandon Fisk and a couple other D tackles went right behind. I think one of them went ahead of him, and then another good D tackle went right behind him. So there was a run on defensive tackles at that point. So I don't blame the Titans for going ahead and getting T'Vondre Sweat. If him and Big Jeff can cause terror in the middle of that offensive line, in the middle of that line, it's going to do wonders for the rest of the guys. It will do wonders, not only for themselves, but for the rest of the guys. But Sweat has got to stay under his weight and stay healthy, stay on the field. And again, D09 mentioned that the pass rush being suspect. Rand mentioned that too. But, I mean, that's going to help the pass rush, because that's going to leave some one-on-ones for Harold Landry, Arden Key, whoever else was in there. And D09 mentioned Sweat has to stay healthy and get in shape. Absolutely. And I know that's something that the Titans really took seriously, as, they definitely are developing a system, developing a system to keep him healthy and get him in shape. Another is Jack Gibbons, Dr. Gibby. And we're going to talk more about Gibbons in just a bit, but he does have to have a good camp, because we're going to talk about this. This position's up for grabs. And Gibby is in one of those battles that we're going to talk about. And last is Caleb Farley. And this is really not about him getting on the field and starting or even playing regularly. Just want him to have a good camp, to not be injured, to show that he can step up and be a guy that, hey, if something happens to L'Jarius Sneed or Chidobe Awuzie, he can step in there and play. And I think what happened last year, even when he got hurt, before he got hurt the year before, he was going to start against Buffalo, and I think he tore his ACL in that game. And then the following year tried to come back, and I think there was some time where he, messed up on some plays, and then Vrabel just basically yanked him. That might have been the same year. He yanked him. And then, of course, his father passed away, and he really didn't play at all last season. He kind of stepped away. And I understand you got to get your mind right. You got to play this game. To play this game, it's physical, but it's more mental. And I don't think mentally Caleb Farley was in it last year. Too much stuff going on with him. But now he's back, and I think he could be fully focused. And hopefully he just can make it through camp and be able to give some contribution to this team. He could be a fourth corner. He could. And so we'll definitely have to see about that. Sting the Poison. What's up? Tighten up. He said, what did I miss? Right now, like I said, training camp has started. We talked about Jamal Adams. We're now talking about players who need to have a good camp, and we're going to get into position battles in just a minute. But Caleb Farley could be a really good feel-good story if he at least can show something, and help this team. That's the main thing I want. I just want him to be able to contribute to this team. So these are my top 5 players who I think need to have a good camp. Of course, I didn't mention Kyle Phillips. I didn't mention Elijah Molden because I think their spots are already taken. So I didn't mention Malik Willis because I think the writing is on the wall, unfortunately. Dio9 says Farley could be a good depth piece for sure. And I agree with that. Because if Snead or somebody or Uze goes down, he may have to be ready to step in. And that would be a good thing. But another thing that we got to talk about is training camp battles. And these are my top 5 position battles that I think are going to happen during this training camp. And again, in no particular, well, this one is in more of a particular order because these are the ones that I think are important. And we're going to first start off at inside linebacker. That's probably one of the weakest spots in our defense. And, you right now got 3 or 4 guys battling for 2 spots. And right now you got Kenneth Murray, who I think de facto is going to start. You brought him over from the LA Chargers. He's probably going to be one of the starters. But he's not going to wear the green dot. The others are Dr. Jack Gibbons, Gibby, as we already mentioned, Cedric Gray, your 4th round draft pick from North Carolina, who I believe they've been very impressed with since being drafted. And then Otis Reese the 4th is more of an underdog in this situation. He's been on this team. He has played a lot of special teams and things like that. And, he could be ready for a bigger role. And also another guy that I haven't mentioned is a draft pick out of Miami, James Williams, who is a safety, and they're converting him to linebacker. So that's another guy that could be in competition. If not for the starting job, definitely could be in the rotation. I think Williams could definitely help in special teams. But I'm with Sting the Poison. He says Gray has to take one of the linebacker jobs. I think he has the potential to do that. It just depends on how quickly he can pick up. He says, I have the aspirations to wear the green dot, to be the leader of the defense. And he's going to have his chance. Now, there could be some struggles in coverage and everything, and that's where everybody's got to be able to help each other. That's where they got to help each other. Communication is going to be extremely important. But I'm going to be looking forward to that battle. I think Kenneth Murray is going to get one of those spots. The other spot is what's on the line. And I would give the nod to Cedric Gray right now, in my opinion. But Gibbons has shown he can improve. So I do think it's going to be a very interesting battle, and it's going to be very interesting to see how these guys play. So I can't wait to see it. The next position, the right side of the offensive line. And so you got guard and tackle. Um, right now at guard, they've made Dylan Raiders. They say he's more of a guard than a tackle. And so I would rather him play right tackle. I think he would be the front runner for that, honestly. But they want him to play guard. And he's going up against Sadiq Charles, who was brought over from the Washington Commanders, who is also a former teammate of Lloyd Cushenberry, who was also a fan of teammate of Lloyd Cushenberry. And so they played together at LSU. And so right now, and I'm with Sting, Dion says, I'm out on Gibby. Sting says, I watched Gray's tape. He's a tackling machine. And then, and so I do like that. Dion says he's out on Gibby. Sting the Poison says Raiders is a guard, but he needs to play tackle. I agree totally. He needs to play tackle. And Pig Wiggle says tighten up. And so, there's a lot that's on the line there at guard, but also at tackle. I think Leroy Christian is a guy that was picked up. Leroy Watson rather was picked up from Cleveland. He was with Brian Callahan. He was with Brian Callahan and in Cleveland, and so he may have an opportunity. He may have an opportunity to be able to do some things, and so we're definitely going to find out, what's going on with this tackle position. NPF, of course, on NPF is going to be out for the foreseeable future at the moment. And so, we're definitely going to be finding out what's going to happen on that right side offensive line because it is a concern. You got Sadiq Charles, you got Dylan Raiders, you got Daniel Brunskill, you got Jalen Duncan as well. So we got to see who's going to fit on that right side of the offensive line. Another guy, I believe his name is Spencer from Texas Tech. I think he's a guard, one of the higher paid undrafted free agents as well. And then you got OJ as well, Ujuku. Also in battling for that position as well. So we're definitely going to find out how that right side of the offensive line looking. Thank you, Sting. Cole Spencer is his name. That was the name I was thinking of. Third position would be pass rusher. The third pass rusher behind Harold Landry and Arden Key. Can Rashard Weaver take that next step? We've seen a few glimpses, but we really haven't seen an explosion. Caleb Murphy, can he make a dent in, getting more playing time and things like that? That could be another guy. I know they drafted Jalen Harrell in the 7th round. Another guy, I think the guy's last name is Rush. I heard his name, I think, from TD recently. Could be another guy that, could make a play to make this team as the third or the fourth pass rusher, because we need more pass rush help. We definitely do. Danico Autry at 11 sacks went out the door, and we got to replace that. We definitely got to see that. I see, CJ2K post his back saying, I believe in Weaver. Sting to Poison says Weaver is the truth. We going to find out. He's going to have to step up. Because we've seen glimpses, but we need him to He needs to make a dent. Maybe challenge Arden Key for that second spot. Because I don't think Key is all locked up to be the second guy. And so there could be another pass rusher out there in free agency that they could look at. So we're definitely going to see about that. D09 says Weaver needs to be more consistent. I do agree. Fourth position will be wide receiver number 4. And that's because Hopkins, Ridley, Boyd all have those spots locked up. So the first 3 positions, it's already locked up. So the battle is for the last position. First off, Traylon Burks, he's got to prove it. Kyle Phillips is going to have to prove it. Nick Westbrook-Akina has been consistent. Has been extremely consistent. And so I do like NWY. That dude, he is a consummate professional. But I am worried about Traylon Burks and Kyle Phillips because another guy that's coming up behind them, and CJ2K Post mentioned, Jaquan Jackson, the rookie out of Tulane. Not only, and I should have mentioned this, punt returner is another position. It's a position is not listed, but it is one that is worth paying attention to. That could be Kyle Phillips' only shot, but we've seen he struggled at that. Eric Guerra, he's had his moments, but he's struggled as well. Jaquan Jackson could be that guy as a punt returner. So he could definitely be in the mix. So who could be wide receiver number 4? I think Traylon Burks could be that guy. And then Jaquan Jackson at 5. Maybe we see about Kearis Jackson. But I think Kyle Phillips is on the outside looking in. Definitely. And last but not least, strong safety. Who's going to start beside Amani Hooker? You're automatically thinking it's probably going to be Jamal Adams, but he could be more of an in-the-box safety, which means Elijah Bolden could be back there. What happens if they do sign Quandre Diggs or a Justin Simmons? Then one of those guys is definitely going to be there, and that's going to push Elijah Bolden out. Definitely. Ghosty says as an LSU and Tulane fan, hope those two pop off and earn a spot. We're definitely gonna see. CJ says Jamal will be a backup, maybe even move to linebacker. Could be, but I think he'll be that in the box safety. That doesn't mean he won't start, but I think he'll be out there quite a bit. Definitely, but it depends. If Quandre Diggs or Justice Simmons is signed, then yeah, he's definitely going to be the third guy. And again, Elijah Bolden's going to be out. So those are my position battles that I like. Also, punt returner is one we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on, without a doubt. And, I'm definitely looking forward to that. But before we do get out of here, I am going to mention my my blue bombshell of the week, and going to be a very interesting one, to say the least. And I got to see if I can play this music. If y'all can hear that music in the background, but that is, of course, the music for the Olympics, which means the Olympics is right around the corner. And I am extremely, extremely excited about the Olympics. Always one of my favorite times of the year. I definitely look forward to the games. They start on Saturday. The opening ceremony is Friday.
about it. I am definitely stoked about it. Starting on Friday with the opening ceremony, and then we get right to it. Swimming in the pool, United States versus Australia. Simone Biles tries to lead the U.S. ladies gymnastics team to a gold. We're going to see if the men can medal. So I'm very excited about the Olympics. And also, congratulations to our female flag bearer, Coco Gauff, was chosen to be Team USA's flag bearer for the Olympic Games for Team USA. But I also thought about it like this: Coco, bring us home a medal. We need a medal. I preferably prefer gold. I think you need to win gold, but get on the podium, win us a medal. Because I was really disappointed she didn't win Wimbledon, and because she got kicked out in the quarters, and I really was cheering for her to win Wimbledon, and it just didn't work out that way. But I'm excited about the Olympics. The Olympics is one of my favorite times of the year, and our favorite times in the coming up every 4 years. I do like the Winter Olympics, but I'm more of a Summer Olympic guy. So I am extremely excited about the Olympics as we get ready to kick it off in less than 2 days from now. So we're full speed ahead, y'all. Training camp is here. The season is not too far away. We are under 45 days until the NFL season, and we're just a couple of weeks away from game one, from preseason game number one coming up as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And I think that's going to just about do it for tonight's show. I hope everybody, had a good time. Again, I thank everybody for tuning in to the show. Again, make sure you you hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And then also make sure you follow on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Definitely make sure y'all follow there as well. And if nothing else, I thank everybody for tuning in. I'm your man, Blue Enforcer, aka The Truth. I thank y'all for tuning in. And everybody, y'all have a very good rest of your night. Again, some stuff that's going to be coming back. The Truth League Report is going to be making its long-awaited return, definitely. And then at some point this year, Down to the T is going to be coming as well, as we are going to be talking sports in the state of Tennessee. So we're definitely going to be talking about that as well coming in. I'm still trying to work out the scheduling because I want to make sure I put this out a good time and make sure y'all are able to watch and you give me your thoughts on that, because I'm going to need some support on that. But everybody, thank y'all for tuning into the show. I hope everybody has a good rest of your night. And y'all know what I'm going to say. We tighten up, because that's all we know how to do. Enjoy your Wednesday, y'all. Happy training camp, y'all.